Hi everybody, welcome to the Homebirthified 31-week pregnancy update. A few things to update you on. Everything's going very well. I had my 30-week midwife appointment last week and I'm measuring just fine, and baby looks and sounds great, but my blood pressure was a little high, and I think I mentioned this in my last video. I think my midwives are giving me white coat syndrome, because the last few readings I've had have been really high, but when I monitor my blood pressure at home, it's in the 110 on 70 range versus like 125 to 130 on 70s at their office, which is very funny because I've been with my midwives. This is my second pregnancy and I know them very well. I'm very comfortable with them, so I'm a little freaked out that my blood pressure keeps climbing. So I've added some apple cider vinegar to my daily regime of vitamins, which is growing exponentially. And I've started taking some extra calcium and magnesium to hopefully help lower things a little bit. Beyond that, what else did I do? Oh, so because my midwifery group works in a team, I saw the other midwife at my last visit. And so she suggested that I increase my omega-3s even more. So I was taking around 1,200 milligrams to get the required amount of EPA and DHA that they suggest for depression during pregnancy. But you can go up as high as about 6 capsules a day. So I increased from 3 to 5, and that seems to be making a huge difference. I feel much better already. I also added some St. John's wort to that regime, and I guess it'll take up to 6 weeks to kick in, but anything's worth a try. But like I said, overall I'm feeling much better and much happier. I don't know if it's because I've gotten to 31 weeks now and I'm just feeling way more at ease, or what it is, but I'm feeling good. Other things to talk about. Oh, I have 2 appointments left, until I have my home visit at 36 weeks, which is insane to me. I can't believe that I'm that far along in the process. But I'm really looking forward to the home visit. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done around my house before it happens. So I basically have about 5 weeks left to rearrange my bedroom and get all the baby stuff ready. We have to, what else? Make sure that I have the birth pool set up. Make sure that I have all my home birth supplies. I haven't even thought about those things. Packing a hospital bag, whatever. So yeah, there's a lot that seems to be creeping up on me. Luckily, I finished work about a week and a half ago, and that alone has taken a huge weight off my shoulders. I'm so happy not to have to go in on weekends. Like, the idea of spending my weekends with my family, how thrilling is that? So otherwise, this last week or so I've been taking a lot of care of myself. Like, I had a pedicure, I got my hair cut, I started aquasize classes. So knowing that I was starting out this pregnancy about 20 pounds heavier, I was really concerned about staying active this time, because I didn't want to gain too much weight. And I didn't want to have issues like high blood pressure, because I was carrying about 20 extra pounds. So I started aquasize, thinking that it would be, you know, a nice gentle way to keep active. Yeah, it kind of kicked my ass. It was, I mean, obviously it's cardio, and I should have realized that. It's just not as relaxing as, say, doing a yoga class. But I just don't have the inclination to do yoga this time. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun. It's definitely nice to get out and about. It was really funny, actually, because they did an informal poll of, you know, who in the class is a first-time mom, and about half the class raised their hands. Who's a second-time mom? Half the class raised their hands. Anybody going for a third? And it was just me. So I kind of felt like the odd duck out. Whatever. Mostly people were just impressed that with 2 other children that I got out to go to a class. Really, beyond feeling a lot better, I've got a lot of fun things coming up lately. I have a birthing workshop that I'm going to go to next weekend, which will deal with fears around birth and loving yourself and being gentle with yourself during the birthing process. And it's an all-day event. I'm also going to a squatting for birth class with a yoga teacher, which I think will be really interesting. As a doula, I have real mixed feelings about squatting because I've seen clients do it a little bit too early, and it kind of has a tendency to malposition babies if you do it too early. It's very good for active labor on, especially transition on. But yeah, I've just not had a lot of luck with people squatting. It's very strange. So it's going to be a bit of a mind opener for me. In truth, I've given birth to both my other children lying on my left side, so I don't know if I'll be too open to moving around this much during labor. I'm hoping to be in the pool this time, so I figured squatting would definitely help me with that. Beyond that, the only other thing that I've started doing is I'm reading this book called Transformation Through Birth, and let me just grab it. It's a super old book. It was published sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, and it's by Claudia Panuthos. I'm sorry if I screwed up your name, but it's been absolutely mind-blowing. The sad thing about it, it's written from the American healthcare system point of view, but it's actually a little bit sad to see how little things have changed since the early 80s. In fact, it's kind of scary to see how some things like the C-section rate have worsened, and yeah, it's been quite interesting. But I read a really good part not so long ago that I wanted to share, and it was in the section where they're talking about 5 essential attitudes for good birthing. So one was self-love, which the quote came from, intention to succeed, conscious awareness, responsibility, and woman as wonderful. So anyway, from the self-love point of view, especially as somebody who's struggled a lot with how things went down with my last birth, not having the home birth that I had planned, being in a situation that could have turned life or death for both me or my child. You know, there's a lot of dealing with letting go of what I had thought I'd known about myself and what I had wanted for that birth. So this chapter talks a lot about how, as a society, we in a Western culture tend to grade each other, compare each other, you know, stacking birth experiences up against one another. And the bottom line is that it's not about, you know, did you birth well? Did you have the right breathing techniques? Did you try the right positions? Did you do the right exercises leading up to it? It's more about, can you love yourself no matter how you birth, where you birth, and what the outcome? And for me, that was just, you know, a real eye-opener, because it's really easy to get caught up in all that other stuff and not focus on the fact that at the end of the day, it was an experience for you too. And it's the baby's journey, and I really have tried to embrace that. It definitely is the baby's journey, but you play a part in it as well. And so you can't hold it against yourself if things don't go to plan, and you can't continue to beat yourself up for it. And so that's where I am. I'm really trying to move through that. And I think I've made a lot of good work, but there's still some to be done. So that workshop that I'm going to will be really good. Anyway, I will be updating probably in the next week or so. I have my midwife appointment again next week. And yeah, everything seems to be flying by. After that second trimester, you know, 20 to 28 weeks, that just seemed to drag. But now things are moving along, so I'm really happy about that. Oh, and we picked a name. So we've had a girl name for a very long time. And since actually we were pregnant with our first child in 2006. And so the girl name's decided. That's no big deal. But we picked a little boy name. So I'm feeling a lot. I think that's part of why I'm so excited. It's one of the first things I've gotten really excited about, this pregnancy. Anyway, I'll be checking in soon. Have a good day.